Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series where I try to get you the most MGP possible from the Mandeville Gold Saucer every Friday when the Fashion Report's minigames judging begins. This is week 208, and this week the theme is Rainy Day Maiden. The clues then include Ready for Rain for your helm, Best Dress Said for your chest piece, and Hand in Half Glove for your glove slot, and On the Plate for our boots. In this video we have a 100 score, an 80 with dies, and then the easiest 80 possible of the week. So let's not waste any more time and get straight to that 100. Alrighty, so for the 100 this week I went for the easiest possible options I could find. Also, you'll notice that we kind of look like an axe murdering Red Riding Hood, which is absolutely awesome. I actually quite like this glamour. So in terms of the slot pieces then, let's talk about the helm first. This is the Rain Hood, which is actually a Weaver craft. There is no way around this, unfortunately, because it's ready for rain as a clue. There are lots of potentials that were tried, but unfortunately it turns out that this is the only item that can fit this slot. It is equipable by all classes or genders in the game level 1 and above, but it is quite an expensive item if you were to purchase it from the market board. It's better if you can craft it yourself, but again, the materials might be a little bit harder to find considering this particular recipe. But that's pretty much what you'd have to do if you wanted 100. You'd have to get that particular helm. In that train of thought then, going from pretty difficult to a very easy piece, for the chest piece I went for the Bridesmaids Dress. This is especially useful for people considering this was recently made gender unlocked. In Endwalker, this was now made so that both male and female characters can use the Bridesmaids Dress. This means that it's equipable by all classes, all genders, level 1 and above. And this is available from a vendor, none other than Rian. If we go over to Uldar, just outside of where you are from the Aetheryte Plaza, if you go up to Sunsilk Tapestries, you'll be able to purchase this for about 18,000 gil. You can also craft this as well, whichever's cheaper for you, but this is a vendor purchased item, which is the main reason I went for this. Alternatives to this slot include the Thavnarian Wool Autumn Dress, which is also a Weaver craft, the High House Bustle or High House Rainbow Bustle. Both of those will work for gold. The Thavnarian Bustier will work, and the Gown of Eternal Devotion from the Eternal Bond Ceremonies should work as well for gold, although I cannot confirm that one. But yeah, plenty of alternatives, but I went for the one that's purchased from a vendor. Let's move on then to the gloves. I went for the cotton half gloves. These are the lowest level gloves that you can get for a vendor purchase, essentially. That's the only reason I went for them. You can get these from any low-level city-state armor vendor, such as Gwalter in the Steppes of Thal. This will be from the Disciple of Hand and Land tab, 10 to 19, and should cost you around 336 gil. Yeah, all classes in the game, both genders, level 15 and above. So far, so good. Alternatives to this slot then, I mean, we could go on for hours, but we've got stuff like the Hempen half gloves, which are a Weaver craft, the Velveteen half gloves, which is also from Gwalter and his other city-state armor vendors, and I believe the linen half gloves will work as well. There are a lot of other half gloves that will work, but I'm not going to sit here and list them all when you can get this one very cheaply from that vendor. For the legs then, feet rather, feet. That's the problem with Sabatons, they kind of look like feet and legs combined. So I went for the bronze Sabatons for our feet slot. This, again, the main reason is because this was cheaply afforded from a low-level city-state armor vendor. I went back to Gwalter. I can find these on the Disciple of War tab, levels 10 to 19 for 872 gil. What is there to complain about, really? Level 15 and above on any Disciple of War. This does make the 100 locked to a Disciple of War at level 15 and above, but honestly it could be a lot worse, and it doesn't take long to get to level 15 on a Disciple of War job, or well, class, does it? Alternatives to this Also, unfortunately, included in that Disciple of War limitation include the Iron Sabatons, Steel Sabatons, Mithril Sabatons, and so on. Lots of other Sabatons will work, but these are the cheapest to get from a vendor. And there we go, that was the 100. So apart from the feat locking this to Disciple of War, and perhaps the helm being something that costs you a bit of gil, that wasn't terribly bad, but we can do a lot better. We've got some really good items here that I'm sure you can imagine make a perfect 80. Let's move on to the 80 with dyes then. Alrighty then, so for our 80 with dyes, as you can see here, we've gone for a metallic yellow on any dyeable weapon in the game. We've gone for pastel pink on any helm in the game. We've gone for gunmetal black on our chest piece here, any chest in the game. We've gone for pure white on our gloves here, bit expensive. Our legs are metallic yellow, and finally our feet are pure white. So the fact that there's two metallic yellows there, a pastel pink, a gunmetal black, and two pure whites, this is probably going to be out of reach for many people, or at least people won't want to be spending large amounts of gil or real life money for some of the pots of dyes from the Mog Station cash shop just to do this. So yeah, the dye option's not particularly good this week. And yeah, it irritates me honestly to look at it any longer. So let's move on to the easy 80. Right then, for the easiest 80 possible, it shouldn't come as any surprise the items I used. I instantly went for that chest piece, the Bridesmaids Dress. That's purely because this is purchasable from a low-level vendor, one that everyone can access from the start of the game, right at the start of the game in fact, from the Steps of Nold in Uldar. Obviously from Rian at Sunsilk Tapestries, the 18,000 gil. You can also make this with Weaver, like I said earlier, but why would you necessarily want to? I don't think you can make it for less than that. Maybe you can, but this is equipable by all classes, both genders now, thanks to Endwalker, and everybody level 1 and above in the entire game. So that's probably one of the lowest level and cheapest options for that slot. And then to combine that, we've got the cotton half gloves, which are equipable by all classes in the game, both genders level 15 and above. And you can get those obviously from low-level city-state armor vendors such as Gwalta, like we showed you earlier in the video. And that will cost you, that will cost you 336 gil. Sorry, I had to look at my note there because I couldn't remember how much gil. So basically, what's this? 18,336 gil for these two items combined, and it gives you a score of 80 plus. That's all you need, and that's equipable by both genders in the game and everybody in the game level 15 and above. Very easy, very, very easy. I think that's probably the best solution. The dye options this week were completely atrocious, and the 100 was locked behind a couple of things that people might not want to spend gil on or time investment, so this is the best option for sure. Anyway, thank you so much for watching episode 208 of this week's Fashion Report. Thank you so much to Kayako Star and the rest of the Reddit people who tirelessly theorize things like this, and the entire community on Twitter and other social media for doing dye options for us. It saves us a lot of time. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week or weekend, whatever you have planned. Make it a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.